Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. GGRax here, and today I'm going to be continuing with Following a Heart MLP fanfic reading Romantic / Sad by Octavia by the Lost Narrator. So this is where I left off, so without further ado, let's continue.
Her head turned to look at Vinyl in the eyes. Her usual bright red eyes were glazed over. Her spiky mane laid flat against her back. Octavia trotted up beside the hospital bed and placed a hoof on Vinyl's. "How are you doing?" Vinyl smiled weakly and tightened her hoof around Octavia's. "I'm feeling just fine. I'm sorry, Octi." Octavia shook her head. "You have no reason to be." The DJ looked down and sniffled. "Yes, I do. I didn't tell you." Octavia shook her head. "I don't understand, Vinyl." The mayor looked up at Octavia with teary eyes. My heart. I should have told you sooner." Vinyl tried to sit up as best as she could. "Octi, I'm dying." Octavia felt fresh tears spill down her cheeks. "No! Don't you dare say that! The doctor said that—" "Octi, they said that when I was a filly, too. They didn't think I'd make it this long." The cellist shook her head. "You could still make it through." Vinyl turned her head to look at her mare friend, the mare who she had spent so much time with. "No, Octi. Not this time. Please, Octi, don't cry." Vinyl lifted her hoof to Octavia's cheek. It shook as it brushed away a tear. "Please." Octavia sniffled and rubbed her face with her foreleg. "All right." There was a soft tapping at the door. Octavia turned to see the nurse standing in the doorway.
"She needs to rest, Miss Octavia."
The mare sniffled and held Vinyl's hoof tight. "I'll always be with you. Okay?" Vinyl nodded and closed her eyes. "I wouldn't have it any other way." Octavia let go of Vinyl's hoof. She felt as if she was dragging herself to the door. The nurse laid a hoof on her shoulder.
"We'll take good care of her."
Octavia nodded and walked to the door, her purple eyes looking at the tile floor. She mumbled, "Probably better than I ever could."
Oh wow, okay. Wow.
It seemed like the same hallway as the one leading to Vinyl's room that day, but she knew that this one was different. She wasn't sure where she was going, only that she was supposed to follow the nurse. She was brought to a large door made of some kind of metal. The nurse tapped on the door, and the door opened. An older stallion was standing inside the door with a long white coat.
"Good afternoon, Miss Octavia. I've heard so much about you. Now if you'll come with me, I'll run you through the procedures. I know this must be terribly hard for you."
Octavia looked down the long hallway. She no longer could see Vinyl's room, but the thought remained. The thought of how Vinyl would hate to know she would have to lay in bed asleep while life continued around her. She turned to the doctor. "It's easier than you think." Octavia walked inside the room, and the metal door shut with a click.
Wait, is she gonna do what I think she's gonna do? Hold on.
Vinyl felt a stinging sensation against her eyes. She rubbed them with her hoof. Her head felt groggy as she slowly sat up. She blinked a couple times to readjust her eyes to the dimly lit room, and looked around. The room was full of an arrangement of get-well balloons, stuffed animals, and flowers. Her mouth felt dry. She turned to see a red button on the side of the hospital bed. Above it the instructions read, "Press for assistance." Vinyl figured being thirsty is being in need of assistance, so she pressed the button twice. Suddenly, she heard gallops down the hallway The door opened and slammed into the wall as a team of nurses gathered around Vinyl's bed. Hi. She managed to croak out, as the nurses seemed to be inspecting every part of her.
She's good.
One of the nurses chimed in.
You can come in now.
As the nurses left, a small group of ponies squeezed their way into the room. Vinyl felt a smile spread across her face as she recognized them. Lyra, Bonbon, Derpy, and Carrot Top
Yay!
gathered around the DJ's bed. Vinyl looked at them. They looked happy, but also sad. She tilted her head to the side. What's wrong, you guys? The mares looked at each other, and then back at Vinyl. Bonbon cleared her throat.
Vinyl, you are dying. The doctors couldn't fix the problem. There was nothing we could do.
Alright, pause. That doesn't sound like the Bonbon from the show, but then again, I don't judge. I need to find out what year this video was made. Anyway, back to the video. Sorry.
Vinyl raised her eyebrow. But then why am I here? Shouldn't I be dead? Lyra rubbed the back of her head.
Yes, you should, but they tried one last thing. A heart transplant.
No.
Obviously, it was successful.
No, she did do it.
Vinyl rolled her eyes.
She did do it. Oh my god.
Well, that's what you could have told me if that's what you ponies were worried about. Wait, hey, where's Octavia?
Oh god, no.
Silence. Derpy looked down at the ground and fumbled with something in her hooves.
Is Derpy gonna talk?
She told me to deliver this to
Yep.
you when you woke up.
The mare held out a letter. Vinyl took the envelope from Derpy and tore it open. She pulled out the piece of paper inside and began to read. Dear Vinyl,
Oh god.
if you are reading this, then it means that the surgery was a success. You might be wondering where I am and why I'm not there with you right now. Well, I am there with you. You see, you were going to die, Vinyl, and no pony could figure out what to do. The only solution was a heart transplant, and the success rate was still a tad shaky. The doctors tried very hard to find a heart that would work for the surgery, but they always came up empty-hoofed. That's when I realized how I could help you, how I could grant you a life where you would never have to worry about your heart again. Don't blame our friends, though. They tried up until the end to convince me otherwise, saying that you would somehow get better, or the doctors would find a solution. I couldn't risk it. I couldn't risk your life on a gamble like that. I chose to make that sacrifice for you because, Vinyl, you mean more to me than myself. You might not ever fully understand my decision. I've tried to explain it as best as I can for you. I will never forget the times we shared, and you are the most important and talented mare in all Equestria. Do know one thing. Just know, I do love you, Vinyl. I love you more than life itself, and I'll never leave you. Ever. Your special somebody, Octi. The room was silent. Tears ran down Vinyl's face, which landed on the paper, shaking in her hooves. She ran a hoof over her chest, where she felt stitches sealing together her skin.
No, no.
The only thing she could hear
Oh god.
was
No.
her heartbeat. No, Octavia's heartbeat. She looked up towards the ceiling and wailed. Octavia!
That was amazing. That was beyond amazing. It was so well fit. The voice acting was good. Oh my god. I'm not I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Stop it. It was good. It was really good. I liked it a lot. I liked it up like up here like all the way to the top. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this continuation reaction. And anyway, go to the Lost Narrator. Go visit her channel because she does a lot of MLP readings, and they are just awesome. The link to the original video will be in the description down below, along with the Lost Narrator's YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. And yes, that's pretty much it. GReacts out.